Hello everyone! Ito na naman ang nagmamagaling niyong kapitbahay. Ayan, na si Mi Amor. At ngayon ay pag-uusapan na naman natin kung how to deal the stress in your relationship. Char. Paano nga ba? At ngayon nga ay magmamagaling na naman ako. So, let's talk about it. Kasi guys, every once in a while, it's really natural to experience some frustration, some annoyance, some hurt feelings with your partner. Kasi di naman talaga mapipigilan na minsan, tinutubuan talaga tayo ng topak. Ayan. But how can we keep all the negative emotions from poisoning our relationship? So that's our today's topic. I'll introduce you to a strategy. May mga strategy that only takes a few seconds to use but will save your relationship from pain, frustrations, and emotional suffering. Chos. So, ang ginawa ko, nag-research ako para naman makatotohanan itong segment kong ito. And here's a scientifically proven facts about stress. Alam nyo ba that stress only appears when you're trying to resist it? Ewan ko lang, pero ito yung na-research ko kasi na stress only appears when we start resisting it. Hindi ko rin mag-gets but I have some few examples on how we gonna get this stress only appears when you're resisting it. So, alam nyo, most women think that stress is a natural part of life. Diba tayo namang lahat, alam natin na yung stress, andyan talaga yan siya, lagi-lagi. But, sometimes we try to manage, sometimes we try to resist, sometimes wala tayong ginagawa about it. Pero, sometimes when we manage about our stress, for example, nagwa-warm bath tayo or nagpapamassage or nakikipagchikahan with our girlfriends. Minsan pa nga yung iba, how they deal with stress is they beyond overboard. Magsa-shopping, mapapaheavy shopping sila. And that's not a good idea to deal stress because after kang mag-shopping, wala ka ng pera, kinabukasan, very stressful ka na ulit. So, it's not a good idea. But, sometimes we deal our stress doing things na napapagawa tayo ng mga bagay-bagay na dapat hindi natin ginagawa. Actually, the opposite is true. We don't resist stress. Dapat hindi natin i-resist yung stress because it's there and it's always there. And instead, we experience stress whenever we try to resist it. When we try to resist anything, dun tayo napapa-heavy stress. Stress happens when we disregard life as it is. Yung hindi mo tanggap kung anong meron tayo ngayon, yung ini-insist mo on making life as it is should be. Yung halimbawa, paano ba? Yung tipong gusto mong yumaman, now na. Tapos, wala ka naman pera. So, may stress ka kung saan ka kukuha ng pera, paano kayo yayaman, paano ka gagawa ka ng negosyo, paano ka gagawa ng negosyo kung wala kang pang start. Alam mo yung mga ganon, nakaka-stress, diba, na especially financially talaga, doon ka talaga may stress. So in love and in a relationship also, stress appear when we have a fixed idea of how our relationship should be. Parang, this is how I want my relationship should be, or how my man should be, or how my family should be. Kasi sometimes we try to compare ourselves to the other person na nakikita natin. Especially now, sa social media, nakikita natin, yung kaibigan natin, binibigyan ng bulaklak this Valentine's Day. Bakit ako? Na, na nakakalimutan na ba niya na Valentine's Day, hindi na niya ako mahal, yung mga super ganong mga idea na minsan nakakasira siya ng relationship because we won't accept anything less. Kasi minsan di natin may wasang mainggit talaga, ay shit na malagkit. Minsan hindi natin naiiwasang mainggit, lalo na sa mga nakikita natin sa social media. Alam mo yon, yung aba, may bago siyang ganito, ako wala man lang pambili, yung ganon, yung tapos siya, wow, yung husband niya, ganito, wow, ganito. So, it's so, may tama ako kasi, 'di ba, minsan talaga namang may mga natatamaan talaga sa pinagsasabi ko. And yes, some stress are normal and even necessary in life. Pero, ayan na naman tayo sa mga but na yan. When your stress is making you and your loved ones miserable, then you get to do something about it fast. Kasi, minsan, nauuberan tayo nauover na yung pagka nandun na sa utak natin, nauover na siya. We have to do something about it. My advice is don't resist stress. Pero wag nyo ding i-ignore. Either, instead, follow these 3 steps. Tinatawag ko tong 3 steps. Kasi, dapat may mga may mga measurements tayo kung paano natin i-handle yung mga bagay-bagay. So, number 1 is know the difference between pain and suffering. Yes, pain and suffering ay magkakaiba po sila. They are so different. Pain is temporary, suffering is forever. So, bakit nga ba nasasabi kong pain is suffering is isang K ito? Pain is unavoidable. Suffering is a choice. So let me explain with a real life situation in a normal relationship. Let's say, yung boyfriend mo or your husband said something na hurt ka, that hurts your feelings, Feeling hurt is a pain. Holding a grudge is suffering. Nasasaktan ka, okay lang yon. Pero yung magtanim ka ng sama ng loob, ng galit, hindi na okay yun. Alam nyo yun, yung magtanim ka ng sama ng loob, isang buwan na, yung pa rin nandun pa rin sa utak mo na yung mga sinasabi niya, dinidibdib mo pa rin, hindi na po healthy yun. Here's another example. When your baby wakes up in the middle of the night, and then ayaw na niyang bumalik sa pagtulog, di ba kinabukasan, ang hirap gumising. Tapos, yung feeling mo na yun is pain. Pero, yung iniisip mo na, ano ba tong buhay ko? Sobrang nakaka-stress na, sobrang wala ng happiness. My life sucks. No. It's a suffering. So, kung iniisip mong gano'n na, suffering na yon, yung parang wala ka ng kaligayahang nararamdaman. Did you get it now? So, the first step to reducing, if not eliminating, stress in your relationship is to simply know the difference between pain, suffering, Kasi minsan wala tayong control pagdating sa pain. Pero, ang laki ng control natin pagdating sa suffering. Kasi, here's how to eliminate unnecessary sufferings in our relationship. Number 2, learn to melt your problems. Learn to melt your problems. When pain comes, whether it's something your husband or boyfriend or relative did, may sinabi siyang masama, nasaktan ka, your first impulse might be to resist. Nagre-resist tayo. We're talking back to them. We're standing our grounds. We're defending our opinions, etc., etc. Minsan, hindi mo namamalayan na dahil na sinaktan ka, nakakapanakit ka na rin pala. Minsan yung may nasabi lang ang isang tao sa'yo na, ay pangit man yan siya. Ikaw din, ay mas pangit. Ang dami mo nang sinabi, ang dami mo nang ginawa sa kanya dahil nasaktan ka sa sinabi niya. And then, ikaw naman, dinudubol mo na pala. Hindi mo namamalaya na double na pala yung binibigay mo. So, don't do that because it leads nothing but to suffering, Instead, learn to melt onto your problem. Swimming against the way things are going. Hindi maganda. But, instead, go with the flow. Kasi, go with the flow. Kung sinaktan ka, try to separate your mind from them. Instead, isipin mo kung bakit niya ba nasabi yun sa akin. Instead, think about how he thinks or how she thinks. Bakit kanya napagsalitaan ng ganun or bakit kanya nasaktan ng ganun. This keeps you from resisting, which makes things worse and instead helps you focus your energy and emotions on finding a solution that works for everyone. Kasi minsan, kapag nasaktan ka talaga, di mo maiiwasang makapanakit. Makapanakit na rin ng mga salitang binibitawan mo. Kaya mas mabuting manahimik ka na lang muna. And then, pag-isipan mo kung bakit niya nagawa or nasabi or yun, bakit yun yung mga nasabi niya. And then number 3 is recognize what frustrations means. Yes. In relationship, frustrations is a sign that you're resisting too much. Whenever you're frustrated about whatever it is, that's the area of your life that's sucking up the most of your energy and sanity. Kapag frustrated ka kasi, di mo na makikita yung mga kagandahang bagay na ginawa niya. Kasi napofocus ka dun sa kulang. Alam niyo yun, gets niyo yun. So, ask yourself right now, is there an area in your relationship where you're experiencing a lot of frustrations? Well, if there is, take a step back and try to find exactly what is it you're resisting. And when you find it, apply the melt into your problem situation. Yung parang, anuhin mo yung problema. That way, you can find a solution, put it into action, and end your frustrations for good. Kasi, hindi talaga magandang na-frustrate. Hindi talaga maganda sa relationship yung nagsasuffer. So, fair warning though, in a loving relationship, things constantly change. And you know what? The happiest couples are those who stays together at at their lives. They aren't necessarily the luckiest or the strongest or the richest. They're simply the ones who can adapt to change the most quickly and easily. So if you're experiencing some stress in your life right now, ito na yung mga tips na kailangan yung i-try. And make sure it helps strengthen the love between you and your man and not tear you apart. If you're not too sure, and it's okay if you're not, kasi I suggest you start learning how to navigate some of the most common most painful and most frustrating situation in a loving relationship with a man. Kasi they can happen anytime, whether you're still single, whether you're in a relationship or dating for several years. And if you want your relationship to last, then you and your man needs to be prepared for all the challenges that might comes your way. Hold on to each other always. Kasi pain comes and it's part of our lives. Minsan talaga hindi natin naiiwasang nagkakasakitan talaga tayo. Whether sa sinabi mo, sa ginawa niya, may nasabi siya or may nagawa siya, nagkakasakitan talaga tayo. But when we hold our grudge towards it, doon talaga, lalo siyang lumalaki, naiipon. Huwag niyo pong ipunin yung mga pain na halimbawa, may sinabi siya, tas hindi ka nag-react. I mean, hindi mo siya sinusolve or ano. Kasi nagpapatong-patong yan eh. And sometimes, when it's blow away, it also blows your relationship for good. So, it's up to you if you choose to turn into, if you choose your pain turn into sufferings or it turns into a blessing is up to you. It's always your choice. So kung ako sa inyo, choose wisely to the happiness you always deserve. See ya next time. Bye-bye.